Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ashen Wastes. This is a extras, the deleted scenes of episode 30, because there are some things that the party still had to talk about and some lore that still had not been discussed.
Has not still been
So,
dumped.
yes, where should we begin?
I think we were at the tavern, and
Yes.
Sioda wanted to talk to the den mothers, and we wanted to tell the den mothers about the whole um, the cult city under their city.
The cultists.
So we are going to go to the den mothers, but before that, I wanna activate my Wheel of Fortune card.
Oh, so much fun. So, only the people watching this, as well as Omnia, well, yeah, Omnia technically, because this is something that happens out of character. So, Lou, as he's thinking of all the things that are happening and have been happening recently, and all the things that are soon to happen, as relayed to him through a vision he had once, he reaches into his pack and he kind of just feels around for a specific item. And as his fingers brush against a specific card, he feels almost like an explosion in his mind of light, and an aura of mystery seems to suffuse that mental space. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
We're going to spin the wheel.
That's the first spin.
The lack of game show music makes me very disappointed.
What would has the wheel has landed? You wish to use a lucky point to re-roll or
if
keep
it's
the
not
result.
if it's not the two ones, no, I want to reroll.
Okay. Please spend one lucky point. And for the purposes of people listening, this is a wheel of fortune with 12. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 11. Yeah, 11 possible outcomes. From 10,000 GP is the lowest, all the way to potential artifact level item with a 1 in 10 chance of landing on the 2 times bonus, which means he gets to roll twice and get whatever 2 results it lands on.
And
Over the second roll,
and
it's been
I I say you just remember what rolls did we get because I want to know what kind of rolls I passed up if I don't land on the two times.
Yep.
My question is, can Mishuda use Flash of Genius on it?
No,
I
that would be funny. The wheel has landed again.
It's not the two times.
It is not the 2 times reward, but I will tell you that it is higher than the previous spin.
Spin again.
Reward is higher.
Does
Okay.
guidance work at
No.
all?
yeah,
Because
just spam that.
This is all a gotcha system and luck.
I got
The
guidance
wheel has landed for the third time, and I will tell you that it is a lower result.
again.
Okay? Spend your third luck point.
Plot twist lower is better.
On the fourth spin, it has not landed on the 2 times bonus, but I will tell you that the reward is higher.
Again. I got one more after this.
Are you sure about this?
Yes.
Okay. Spin the wheel, fifth time.
This fourth time.
And it lands. And I tell you that it has not landed on the 2 times bonus, but the reward has gotten lower.
Last one. I don't have any more
His
luckies.
last lucky point spent. We spin the wheel for the 6th time, and it has landed. One more.
What?
And you're out of rerolls.
Yes.
At this point, Lou was just like, "Oh, by the way, like my mom was halfling, so
Right. You
Actually,
landed.
I'm a
You
halfling.
feel. You feel a shower of this cascading golden light around you, and you feel something. And you're, despite the fact that you have a portable hole, which physically does not alter its weight in any way, it is an extra dimensional space bound to a specific item that is basically the weight of a sheet of paper. Uh, you feel it almost like it, you almost feel it get heavier, and you look into your bag, your bag and your and your portable hole, and you kind of dip your hand into the portable hole, and you feel something hard, and you kind of reach down a little bit more, and you feel more of these things, and they're small and tough, and you pick it up, and there's a handful of gold. As you lift your hand is filled with gold that just spill over the sides and back into the portable hole.
Wow! I got.
You landed. You landed on the highest result of 160,000 gold pieces.
I'm rich, motherfuckers.
So, in order of the rolls, you landed on the first roll. You landed on 40k gold pieces.
Mhm.
The second roll, you landed on 10,000.
Okay.
The third roll, you landed on 80,000. And I'm not making actually no, sorry. The third roll, you landed on a very rare item. That's what it was. Very rare item. The fourth roll, you landed on 80,000. Fifth roll, you landed on an artifact.
Hmm.
And this roll is the 160,000 gold pieces.
How much does an artifact go for?
Much more than that.
Much more than a 160. Okay.
Considering the magic item pricing sheet that I had once given out and is currently still pinned, if we go by that sheet, you will see that the prices of items increase by 10 for the most part. So a common magical item is 100 gold pieces, uncommon is 500, rare is 5,000, very rare is 50,000. A legendary item is worth 500,000 gold pieces, an artifact would be worth 1 million.
Wow. Okay.
And consumable items are worth half as much to purchase or to sell.
I got money. I'm rich.
You got 160,000 gold pieces. You have enough to pay back your father,
And then some. Okay. We're going to the Den Mothers, I guess.
160,000 gold pieces heavier.
Do 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 do. We're going to the Den Mothers.
You were so close to getting an artifact. I almost shat my pants.
The artifact would have been the sword, right? It
You,
would have been the
if you
sword.
had landed by the rules of, I'm actually following the rules of a deck of many things, in the sense that if you had landed on the card, so if you landed on the slot that said that you win a legendary or an artifact, you would not have gotten that item, but you would have gotten a map that led you directly to that place, so you could find the item through exploration.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that sword, but at some point.
I know. The Tarot of Good Fortune's fortune card has been used.
But I can keep it as a momentum, right?
I can keep it as a memento, and for the sake of everybody watching, here's what the card looks like.
Bila fortune.
Alrighty. Suddenly much wealthier, despite no one knowing, thanks to your portable hole, you make your way with Theoda back to, I'm assuming, the hotel to try to find the den others again.
Yeah, but
You would be informed by the guards that, as in fact, they are not the hotel, as they are currently in the main cathedral to work on, continue helping some of the people.
are they where I just drew the symbol of Bahamut?
You would make your way back, and you would find that the large raised dais had gone back down onto the floor, and they're just kind of chatting there. And you notice that they are arrayed in such a way that as you walk in, you see them sitting on either side of this now new, especially to see all the new large crack that almost bisects this entire temple, going from almost the halfway through the floor, like halfway towards the front door, almost all the way up to the top in one long line.
Lou's just gonna go. Uh, do you like what I did to the place? I think it livens up the place a bit.
Mm, wait, to the church?
Yeah,
Cathedral?
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think Lou fought outside there. I thought Lou fought like this big pedestal, like across the whole.
No, I did fought outside the cathedral, but after we were done, I went back to the church, to the temple that is basically Love's temple, and drew the symbol of Bahamut in it. Basically, I drew
Oh,
another god's symbol in another god's temple. You pissed them off.
he committed the ultimate blasphemy. Actually, I would say that Umnia make me probably an Arcana check.
meep.
Meep.
Arcana.
Click.
Do you
Siora,
want
get up here, Siora. Oh my god.
do you want guidance?
Mm. You can guidance me now?
Yeah, I got. I
Well, I
switched.
mean, for this, I would say that you wouldn't notice because it's as you're kind of walking forward with purpose, and she's just there near you, and she's noticing this to herself.
I mean, I could guidance
You
myself,
could.
but
See that as you move forward towards this, you get closer, you can feel a very familiar sort of aura. Uh, Reminds you of cobwebs along your skin, but you notice it doesn't feel vibrant. It feels like something old and decayed, something that died here that is been abandoned.
mm, okay. Beep.
So, what is the reaction of the den mothers to the symbol? Now they don't know that I drew it.
They look at it appreciatively, almost. Actually, no, make an insight check. Lord Malleus definitely would look at it, would be staring at it, and he would have like a slight smirk. But the other dead mothers would look at you directly, and their faces are much more stony, much more
Eh.
serious. You take a second to chant mystical words and give yourself guidance.
Why didn't it just drop the D4 for it? Do I
It,
have?
I don't, I need to fix that. It doesn't do it by itself, which is always weird. Anyways, roll your insight.
I'm gonna vibe check the room. Inside. Where's my inside? Inside.
Siora looks a little.
17.
Yeah.
The
Siora's
dead
a little.
mothers look at you with with heavy stern, not stern, not angry or negative emotions, but very serious countenances upon their faces as they look at you.
Do they
And
have
they,
any reactions to me?
a couple of them would spare a glance towards you, but most of their attention is at Lou right now. And the den mother, known as Star, Her name being that specifically so that it is easier for non-drow to pronounce. You have invited. She makes a rather impressed face. Desecration upon the temple of a goddess.
Yeah.
Did
So
you consider the consequences upon yourself before you did this?
let's be honest. I'm not very good at that, considering the consequences. But this one, I did fully accepting any outcome because she pisses me off.
She kind of nods and gives a slight, very slight smile. You have admiration and some incredulity at your seemingly foolhardiness, but yes, respect.
Uh, by the way, do you any of you guys have a merchant caravan to sell us?
She, they blink their eyes, and the youngest gold. Kind of, I have. I usually handle trade between, the dens and the holds and some of the yuan-ti, so I have more of the connections when it comes to that sort of stuff.
It doesn't need to be a merchant specifically. I just want a caravan, not a full caravan. I just need a wagon that we can just put a bed and a chest and a couple of chairs and stuff, so it can be more comfortable for us to travel.
Oh, oh, of course, no, I wouldn't charge you that. I think that's the
Do you have a
well,
bag
I
for
have
me? Can you give me a bag?
a normal bag.
The important stuff first. That's all.
Any kind of bag.
Uh, she looks towards her guard, steps forward, and reaches back, and he pulls out an extra, just burlap sack.
I'm just gonna put 10,000 gold in it. Put it in the middle of the den
A rain
mothers.
of gold.
Put it in middle of the den mothers. Considering we are allies right now, and considering the plan we have for the ship and everything, this is a down payment of 10,000 from Celestina, from son of the Lord of Celestina. More will come. But this is a down payment, something to get you started on repairing the city, and I will try to get clerics and paladins to come and help you guys out because your infestation of cultists have is not gone because Mashuda, the one of the our party members that was kidnapped, found out a city full of cultists under your city.
They look at each other as you say this, and they kind of go wide-eyed for a second, and then they just collectively groan and close and kind of hold their bridges of their noses. And just when we thought that that would be all the bad news, Malleus, I will, I will put a request out for some of your people to help with clearing. Uh, they will, or at least I think Mother White will see to sending some of her soldiers to start taking care of them. If
I
you'd like
would
to join,
uh, actually I am summoned by Bahamut to Celestina. I would recommend you guys seal away the entrance for now and wait for reinforcement from both the scouts and Celestina. It would um it would be a peace of mind for me if there are at least a couple of high-ranking clerics between the ranks of the army that's going downstairs because you guys have already lost enough.
This is rather unfortunate. You hear the voice of Den Mother White. I will make sure that my children can do what they can to make another invasion inconvenient if we can't defeat them all now.
There will be reinforcement from Celestina. I will see to that.
Yes, but you must remember that Celestina is a long way. You may not have that much time.
The ultimate decision is up to you, but reinforcement from Celestina will come, and they will stay here until the city is restored to somewhat of its former glory. And with your permission, maybe can build a chapter for Bahamut here, if you want.
Of course. For now, I think there are two people who, from my understanding, put in a request to travel with you that was then forwarded to us. Since we've been the ones you have been seeing most often currently, um, two of your scouts, one of whom actually is Drow, a member of our family, so to speak, and I think she wanted to join you as a sort of thanks to travel with you at least for a little while and aid you as a show of gratitude for what you've done.
Appreciate the help, and why not? The more the merrier. Uh, One more thing. Mm, there was some kind of creatures that were summoned in the battle. There was our my companion wanted to talk about that.
Ah, yes, we were all wondering as to the creatures that had taken to floating above the den. They had never caused any problems for any of us. They seemed cooperative, but they were reluctant to speak.
Can I insight check it?
Sure.
Meep. I fuck. Oh well. It's an 8.
He seems like he's telling you how he feels. It's just these strange things popped in and refused to elaborate before they left.
Hmm. Okay. Do would I be able to insight check any of the mothers standing behind him or no?
I'd make this all part of the same check.
Okay.
So they again they are proficient at taking turns while speaking. It's almost like
Okay.
they're all sharing the same voice.
Can I do the boy check?
Mm-hmm. If you wish.
14.
Yeah. Then seemed like he's telling you as it is. Strange creatures came, refused to elaborate, and left.
There was no communication.
There was some. Mm, It was. It is difficult to understand their language, so to speak. Uh, they. It was more of an impression from the emotions, I suppose, that they were trying to convey, which amounted to, close as I can understand it and translate it. They told us, "Be not afraid."
Yeah, I kind of got the same vibe when we were fighting, and they just popped into existence. Speaking of which, there was a drow woman that was helping us in the fight. Is she one of you guys? Your guys?
they would look towards Den Mother Rune, and again, she doesn't seem to speak. She uses telepathy. And so there's a moment of quiet as they process whatever she's communicating. And they turn back. Yes, the individual you are referring to was one of the few individuals that we had sent to gather intelligence on the Drow. She explained to us in full that most of her duties had actually taken her to different parts of the continent, and that for the most part she was not aware of the invasion until you had encountered her first in the tunnels, and at that point there were far too many eyes watching for her to send a message.
All is that well ends well, I guess. One more last
Yes.
thing before we really have to leave. Um, any of you have any books on um, love his enemies, his allies, and especially what I specifically are looking for is the avatar love requirement for summoning an avatar of love and what its resistance and its weaknesses might be.
Ah, such information touches upon the realm of the divine. I we would not have another star. Thanks. I have many arcane tomes. Mother Rune has even more than I, but neither of us would have collected anything, even in the days from before the war, when we were still loyal to Lolth. Most scriptures gave rather uniquely styled tales, shall we say. There would never be a book that would have in-depth information on a divine being's daily workings.
What about allies or enemies of love? Do you have any information on that?
Oh, that is something I could answer without a book in front of me. Lolth has well been known as a deity of purest chaos and evil. She is a trickster, a conniving, scheming spider that, uh, well, let's just say she doesn't have any allies. Or rather, she doesn't have any friends. They are more likely to turn on her than they are to help her, depending on who they're fighting. If it ever came to certain beings' attention that Lolth had bitten off more than she could chew and was actually in danger, I'm sure they would relish the opportunity to weaken her even further, just so that they wouldn't also have to face the wrath of whoever she had angered.
Hmm.
She rules with fear and power, so there are very few deities of chaos that can inspire any form of loyalty.
Anyone that absolutely hate her gods and we can maybe ally ourselves with, other than Bahamut, because basically he's my god and he is okay with us helping you guys, and he's gonna help in his own way.
She, I would assume any god of law and good would very willingly assist you, but after the war, I believe that most, if not all, other deities have, for the most part, been banished, and it's only Ulf and Bahamut left.
Question for
That's
the DM. What was the you said the dwarfs of Celestina had another god? before Bahamut was the first, the major one. What was the name of that god?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Find my notes, please. I don't know the name off the top of my head.
Was it the god of Forge? I think it was the god of War Forge.
Well, it was the god of the forge and specific Moradin.
Oh, God of
More
the
than.
Dwarves you had mentioned.
He is the god of the forge and the god of dwarves. Like
Uh,
the god, like the big, like capital G god of dwarves.
what
Like
about
creator of.
Morden? Maybe he can be of help. Is a he, right?
Yes. They look at each other, a little bit of confusion. Then Mother Rune perks up. She, again, you feel her voice slipping into your mind. Moradin was arguably one of the strongest gods, but during the war, the Empire of Ridoran had made frequent use of many deific powers, and Moradin had from what I understand, not that I claim to understand the doings of deities, Moradin had used most of his whatever power he had available to him in this world to allow Bahamut and perhaps one or two others, but they were quickly banished too. Rituals have been very commonly used, and after the war, the Drow, still loyal to Lolth, made sure to remove as many obstacles to her return as possible, and it's been taking us most of the years since the fighting to ensure that she doesn't descend. That is also part of the area surrounding the continent. It keeps Primus held, but as the barrier itself draws upon powers related to divine beings, it also keeps other deities from really interfering too much.
Well, what about their rituals for bringing back a god? Because, like I said,
I
at the end, everyone is gonna go. Bahamut, Loaf, everyone is gonna go. That's the end game. But before that, we have to deal with Loth, and bringing back Moradin can be helpful.
I I cannot tell you how to summon a god because each deity has, from my understanding, specific knowledge, uh, rituals for their descent would be gifted to their closest followers, their champions, so to speak. But champion of Moradin would be impossible without leaving this continent entirely and finding someone still shipped him.
I guess then it's a long run kind of
Or
plan.
Yes.
Sierra would kind of like half like raise up her hand a little bit, like
Timidly, just like, I
yeah.
don't want to answer the question, but no one else has the answer, so.
Um, there is also the creatures that had helped the city before. He's still kind of interested in helping defeat Lolth if you guys needed him.
Wow, really?
Like, yeah.
Is it the same creature that said that we saw when we opened that orb?
Mm, I don't. No, no, he's not.
What is this creature? What does he want?
Mm, Well, his the biggest thing is basically kind of go over again what me had said in the tavern is that he like ancient long ago, I don't know how long ago, but um he was a creature that lived in the lands that the gods do now, like before the gods were there. And when the gods were created by mortals,
Oh, it's the same
um
guys that you said that were kicked out of the heavens and they want back.
yeah, he's one of them.
He's one of them, and that's all he wants. He just wants to go back. That's it.
Yeah, and right now the plan is to hopefully um get rid of Lolth because she's obviously causing problems right now, and possibly to communicate with gods of mercy and see if they would allow him to come back. Because almost from what he's told me, at the time, because the gods were new, all of them were against his kind, and it's not. We don't know yet if they'd even accept him to come back, even though he was there first.
You notice the Den Mothers and the Den Lord Malleus look absolutely mystified as you speak.
Oh, you didn't know he can she can speak, or is it because what she's saying?
Uh, I knew she could speak. There was I'm hmm hmm there was there were things before the gods.
Oh yeah, right. There was another creature we saw. Do you remember the cave that we went? I found the adamantian ores in it. There was another creature there that said, "I am uh, older than the gods." We can recruit that guy too if you want. This is not the first guy that we
That's
have.
a good idea, Lou.
Make an insight check.
This is not the first time we have seen someone that is the older than the
Vibe
gods.
check.
I'm saying that to uh, Malleus. This is not the first time we have seen someone older than the gods. That's an insight of 10.
They look mystified.
Yoda's genuinely impressed with his creative idea.
Den Mother Rune looks towards you, Siotha. She kind of tilts her head a bit, and you feel a presence brush against your mind gently. She kind of holds a hand out to you and makes a come hither motion.
Um, should very hesitantly step forward.
You would walk forward until you were, and she would keep gesturing. You would walk forward until you step in front of her, and she kind of sits up slightly. She brings a hand up to your head. She kind of like looks at you. There's almost like a moment of recognition followed by just confusion, and then she just reaches a hand up, taps you on the forehead with her finger, and you feel like something round being pulled from your head, even though there is no physical manifestation of anything. You feel something being almost extracted. And she kind of holds her hand forward, palm up, and she's looking almost at something in her hand, but you don't see it. She kind of brings it up and flicks it towards the center of this dais, and then in the spot in midair, there's a small orb of greenish blue light, like pulsating. And then you hear in voice you haven't heard in a while, Lou. That you heard very recently. A grating voice that makes you feel like you're almost drowning but not quite. Speak. Skringler. And like a pulse of green, this green blue light erupts in a circle, a sphere, and the entire dais becomes encased in this barrier of light, and the entire space inside of this sphere, this hollowed sphere, is murky and green and blue, like the waters of that lake. And you feel actually something massive in this space with you, but you don't see it. You see each other just fine. You don't see anything else, but you get the sensation of something in the water, in the water that this takes the appearance of. You call. I did not know your kind knew the ways. And then Lou, you feel a that sensation all turns from almost soothing wave to just very gentle, like pinpricks and needles across your skin and your mind. Little paladin.
You're the one that is in my head.
We met, yes. You still worship your god.
I'm, I do not worship him. I'm faithful to him.
Yes, your faith is the cause of all of this. If little, your ally can explain it. Turns to the voice. You feel mentally that the voice turns towards the den mothers, and the almost uncomfortable sensation leaves your body.
Do you mind leaving completely? I mean, Sioda is okay with you being in his head. I'm not. If I want to talk to you, I will tell you, Sioda, what I want to tell you. Do you mind leaving? I don't have any problem with you. I just don't want anyone in my head. Respectfully.
So he just kind of pinches her nose at that.
Lou, as you start talking back, you feel that little sensation in the back of your head, but instead of the palpable fear, it's seething with rage. Why did you call me
I,
across this connection? And Den Mother Rune opens her mouth and she starts to speak for the first time. No sound comes out. You see her form words, but no words that you understand.
What are we able to discern the language or no?
No.
is it the language or is it like a magical thing?
It's definitely seem like for even just looking at it, you innately know that she is speaking to it in a way that only it seems to understand.
Is there any kind of like arcane intelligence, religion, anything we can make to maybe understand?
No, not this.
Okay.
I'm just checking one more. Yeah, no, there would be no way for any of you to really understand this. And again, that booming voice, and it feels like it should. The base of it feels like it should expand in this area and almost press against your body and almost knock you backwards, but it doesn't. Even despite the harshness of the tone, it moves across you and around you and through you almost gently. Though for Lou, it still kind of has that pinprick sensation given the unpleasantness of the previous encounter he had. I have no love for these deities, and if your ultimate goal is to remove them, as I have explained to my contractee, I would be more than happy to return this world to peace. faith.
Lou just speaks up and says to the thing, I excuse me, what do we call you? Do we have a name? Because this seems rude to just call you a thing. Do you have a name, sir, madam? Lou is very confused right now.
I have no name that you could pronounce. Some
Then what do we
would
call
call
you?
me Old One.
Hold on, nice, good
I
game.
believe Lolth when I angered her. And you hear mirth in his voice as he says this. She called me one of the first, and that shall do as well.
Um, Old one, have you talked to Bahamut on this whole situation about going back to the heavens?
Again, you feel, despite the fact you said no, you feel pulse against your head, and you actually feel this time the pinpricks in your mind when that happens actually start soothing themselves, and it actually start you feel something in your mind starting to heal ever so slightly. That little seething ball of rage is still in the back of your head. Dragon, yes, I met him once when he was born. He struck my siblings from the skies.
Wow. Okay. Uh, so I guess that's a no. Do you want me to talk to Bahamut? I mean, if you help us with the whole love situation, I can talk to Bahamut as a favor to let you in Celestina. Mount Celeste, not Celestina.
You feel a sensation of a very toothy grin, as of a predator almost. Your god has no choice in the matter. Once the deities are removed from this world, I will be free to roam the skies once more. I'll finally be left alone.
Lou, can I inside check him that is he
Yeah.
does he want to just leave and be left alone, or is
Make an
he
insight check.
looking for something? Oh, dirty 20.
Lottie, Lottie.
Actually, I'm gonna actually ask him. Uh, Lou just steps forward. Yeah. Wildfire. I'm gonna ask him. Just yeah. Lou just steps forward. Just takes this like a fighting stance, like a predator, ready to pounce, and says, "When the gods are gone, are you just gonna leave and let us leave, or are you gonna be another problem for us?"
As when you take that step forward and kind of drop into the stance,
With that
there's a
inside check.
moment. Yeah, there's a moment where in the strange see-through murk, you can see a sudden massive shadow, almost like a great serpentine limb, slowly just spiraling around the edges of this area. And there's a part of it that almost seems like the end of a long tail that seems to be surrounding you a good 3 feet away, but just kind of in that area, and you feel for a moment something looking down at you from just behind. And you hear in the voice that feels like it's coming from directly behind your right shoulder. I existed with your kind long before you knew what faith was. I will exist after they are all gone, and I will have peace. Your people will flourish, and they will make of the miasma they did, and it will be pure.
Okay? Just remember, I have already started the war with the god. I have no problem starting one with you. If I see at any point what are you doing is harming any of us.
Ooh. Okay. Uh. Ooh. Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Hmm. Can I guidance myself?
No.
Okay.
Also, it's not guidance for saving throws; it's resistance.
Okay. Wisdom. Wisdom saving throw. Oh wow, my wisdom is really bad. Oh, 22.
You. You feel the orb in the back of your mind. Take the words and take your words and start building palpably. And you feel that anger kind of just running through you. And it takes you quite a few moments to calm yourself from the sudden rush of rage from this thing that A seems to be messing with you and B just seems to not be taking you that seriously. As it says, do not worry. You have my children, my kin, those that would help you. Though I need not remind you that some of my kind are still filled with rage for our last great loss.
Last question. There was a guy in a lake in close to Kwan that we found. He said he was older than the gods. Can he be one of you guys, one of your children, or whatever?
That is me.
I'm sorry. What now?
Hold on. You asked this thing if it is the if it knew the thing from the lake.
Yeah. I thought this
I
one is
thought
a
I
different
I thought
one.
I made it. I thought I made it obvious. No, this is the same fucking thing. This is the same fucking creature.
Then
That's
who?
that's why. That's why I made it. I tried to make it obvious with like the pins and needles sensation in your brain. This is the exact same thing.
And is the same thing that we found in the orb.
No.
Then what is the thing that is in the orb that was in the orb that has been in my head and Sioda's head? I'm confused.
So, are you asking the thing or are you asking me?
No, at the moment I'm asking the DM. If you remember,
Okay.
we
Same questions.
found
No, no,
the.
I know what you're talking about. I remember. I know what you're talking about. The orb with the vision,
Yep.
the mouth eating the stars.
And there was something
That is
embedded
a
in our heads.
that is a separate creature. The thing embedded in your heads is a result of your encounter with that creature.
So I asked this one if he knows that creature.
Yes. Okay. You said the thing in the lake.
No,
You did
no,
not say the thing.
no. The
Okay.
backtrack.
The vision.
Backtrack.
Okay.
Do you know the thing that is we
Pause again.
saw?
The box. In the
That you
box.
saw.
Do you know the? Okay, sorry.
Family to me.
What about the place that it was showing us? Was it that place was your home?
It is a place beyond the stars. But it is where most of my kind went during the massacre caused by your gods. Those who survive, those who decide they wish to take revenge, those are the ones that require more convincing. I want peace and quiet. No more faith.
Why was the war started in the first place? It could have been. It couldn't have been just for because you guys were there and God wanted the place.
It
I
was when time was born and we came into being with it. The people that would become from the muck they crawled, from nothingness they became, and they took the chaos of the world and they made of it something else. And we watched from the stars, quiet. We watched content with his personal entertainment. See creatures that were not gifted with sight and knowledge as we were, to see them struggle, create was something pure and admirable. But when they saw the chaos of the world, they asked questions, and in their questions, they came up with answers, and in their answers, they made faith. It was this faith that created the deities you know. What is this creature that walks upon 8 legs? A spider. What is a spider crafting a web for? It must be spinning its lies. And from there, from nothing, came Lolth. What is the shine of the sea? What is the great ball of fire in the sky? Light, sun. It causes the sun to fly. It causes the seas to push and pull. Dragon. What is a dragon? Beast that flies and swims and breathes heat and cold, that gives us our seasons. And so the first came, and from its flesh came Bahamut, the one you call Tiamat, and the one you call the Gem Beast, and so many more. And they were, as you would say, perfect, built in the image of faith. But the gods knew nothing. They were born knowing only what you knew. And they were born with the power to shape reality to fit their view. But when they were born in the spheres beyond this world, and they looked beyond the stars, and they saw what lived in the spaces between, and they saw us, they screamed in fear. waged war, and so my brethren fill the sky, their blood becoming stars. Those who escaped, filled with rage. Your gods are nothing more than parasites, built of the faith of clueless mortals.
Question for the DM. Does my character know about Ayo? Ayo?
Ao is a specific over deity from the Forgotten Realm setting and would not exist in this world.
So yeah, that argument went out the window. Okay.
Yeah, so they this is the creation myth, if you will, the creation story of this world.
Yeah, I wanted to say that if you're saying what you're saying doesn't make sense because Aryo was there from the beginning and he's a god, and nope, doesn't make sense in this story. Okay, that was a cool one though. So basically, we have two creatures, ones that were there from the beginning, and they are made of chaos, I suppose. And then the humanity made the gods. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh okay then. If you want peace, okay then. If you want peace, I have no problem with you and your kin, but you have to keep your kin under control because, like I said, protection of those that are close to me, those I have eh, chosen to be protected by me, they come first. Doesn't matter if I'm fighting a god or not. They come first, and you can see it clearly right now. And Lou just points to the uh, place that he carved the sign of Bahamut in the Love's temple. I do not care about the consequences as long as I get to protect those that I have chosen to protect. I will do it. So
Hmm.
keep your kin in check when they, because like you said it yourself, some of them want revenge. Omnia, do you have talk to this guy about what you want? I have no, I have no more questions for him, and he refuses to leave my head. We're gonna be
Huh?
friends. I'm sure we're gonna be friends. And he just walks away, sits down, and starts smoking his pipe.
Hmm.
My
One of you say
yeah.
something.
Okay. I
Omnia,
guess. Ah,
go ahead.
I'm trying to think about it. My my question would mostly be that if we found a place for you within the land that you used to have without eradicating all of the gods, were you um will you be willing to compromise with that?
He said he wanted peace, not war. If he,
With the mortals.
Did,
Because
did, did,
I
you're-
know Lolth isn't a friend to any of these other gods here.
my
And
understanding was that he wanted the same plan as us. As long as we cut off the god's power from this continent, he's cool.
Is this Nameless or Lou?
Both of us.
Uh.
Because Nameless is mansplaining the heck out of him.
Is Lou? Let's say.
Lou is mansplaining the heck out of him.
No, Lou doesn't trust him, so he is trying to explain that shit to himself and be like, I think you are saying this. If it's not this, we are gonna have a problem.
Mm.
So
The
Lewis just says, my understanding is that he has the same plan as us. We just cut off the gods from this plane, and he's just gonna leave out uh, in the stars or something.
the
No kind
god
of war with gods.
when he says to cut out the gods from this plane, that's including gods like Bahamut. We're
Bahamut is okay
we're
with it.
how do you know? Bahamut was one of the ones who
Uh,
were massacring his people.
do you remember that shadow word that I talked about? They said, and I gave you the cards, right? Whoever that doesn't want us to know who they are, because remember, uh, not remember. I one of these den mothers wanted to say these cards are the artifacts of someone, but some kind of magic doesn't let them disclose who they are. Uh, those guys want us, specifically me, to cut off the two remaining gods' hold in this plane of existence, which are Loth and Bahamut. They said they cannot come and visit the plane as themselves or their avatars, but their powers that they gave to the clerics or the champions, those can still exist. And I accepted that in but before I accepted that proposal, I asked them to let me ask Bahamut one question, and I was like, are you okay with this? And he said yes. So Bahamut is okay with it. We don't give a fuck what Love thinks. So yeah, if this is the same plan as this guy, I am okay. But if he wants to go to war with the gods, nope, we got a problem.
Mm. There is some responsibility of the gods in that too, because the gods were the ones who struck first, from what
And
we
I
know.
will get to the bottom of that. I'm gonna just
Mhm.
ask Bahamut what's going on, because I uh, I have to have both sides of the story before I make a decision on who was to blame. If they started it without any kind of reason other than they didn't know these guys and they were foreign to them, yeah, the gods are responsible. But if they were doing it for a reason and the reason is justified, then the gods are in the right. But right now, I'm not gonna make a decision until I hear the gods' side of stories.
If if everything goes according to plan, Bahamut steps aside and we eradicate Lolth, and the old one is able to reclaim that space, and other gods decide to have a problem with it. What would you do in that situation?
Considering killing a god, I do not think that is going to be easy, because, like I said, when I was in the Shadow World, what they said was basically you have to kill all the avatars of the god in all the realms. This one and other realms and the realms we don't know about, the realms we know about. and then you have to fight the actual god to kill it. So I do not think that is possible to kill off as much as I would love to. But considering if we can actually kill him, and these guys claim that piece of land for themselves, as long as they are not interfering with the other gods and the mortals, I don't see a problem with it. From the gods, lawful gods at least. I don't see any kind of problem coming from Bahamut. But if, like I said, again, if the gods strike for no reason, the gods are not in the right. And but if they make problems for mortals or interfere in other gods' business, that's a different story.
How many champions do gods normally have?
Does Lou know that?
No.
Uh, I don't know, but if I have to guess, I believe it's one per realm, and that's not even their avatars. They can have hundreds of avatars in uh, different realms
Hmm.
if they want. The champion is a different thing than the avatar.
That's like somebody who's chosen by the god, right?
Not necessarily. The champion is someone that is favored by the god and chosen to be like their uh, messengers, you can say. But every god has a different version of their avatar. Like for example, Tiamat has uh, different kind of hydra like dragons that have different heads, and every head is a different kind of element. That is an avatar of Tiamat. But Bahamut chooses an old man to walk as his avatar, and every god has different amounts of avatars depending on how powerful they are or how much they want to interfere with the mortal realm. Some might have one per realm, some might have thousands, and how big is their influence. A lot of things come into play in how many avatars they have.
So turning towards like the Den Mother specifically, um, because I know that the old one was telling me that waging war against Loth might prove difficult if she has claim to you. Um, that she might have some sway over your mind if you ever entered her realm. Um, I don't know how that would work when it comes to any champions that she would have. Um, I mean, I don't know. I would have assumed that she would have summoned a champion to fight the city if she had one, but she might just have saved it for some other situation if she has some.
On that note, does the existence of like a champion of another god in close proximity, is it going to be affecting how much sway does love has over you, or is it just doesn't matter?
You're asking the DM?
Nope, the den mother. I just said this after Omnia was finished.
Okay, so a champion is an avatar is a piece of divine power, it's the sentience and knowledge of that god or goddess, and needs to be summoned to this world. and it is through a champion is the only one that can summon an avatar, and an avatar is the only one that can summon the actual true deity and all their power. The champion is gifted abilities far beyond any mortal creature, and they are able to exert the a portion of their deity's will.
Is that did Siota see what happened to Lou at the fight?
You can see the consequences of it on my face.
Well, I think Siota knows that you passed out, but I don't know if she saw you go Super Saiyan.
No, she didn't see me go Super Saiyan, but if you look at my face, it's like uh, my face is glowing with a red, where the tree, like, remember that dead creature that clapped me in my face? Uh, it left three, like, claw marks. Those claw marks are now glowing with a red uh, color, and like they're in sync with my breathing. And there is also all over my face there are like lightning red lightning uh, veins, and there are also a couple of black ones that are from love because I drew another's god symbol on his temple. So there is definitely signs that something happened to me.
Hmm. Okay.
And if you hmm, can I do an inside check to see if Omnia is wondering if I am a champion or not?
Good. I mean, the it was me about to ask the question if she had saw you go Super Saiyan, but
So
you could.
no, I want to see the if Lou understands Sioda is fishing for me to see if I am uh, champion or not. Actually, never mind. And we could, if you're looking for a champion, I might be one very soon. Like I told the den mothers too, but they saw it actually. I think something happened when we were fighting. We weren't there, but there were a lot of mages and they were trying to summon something. The situation was shitty, to say the least. I gave a half-hearted prayer. It wasn't even that comment. I wasn't even committed that much to the prayer. But I guess Muhammad saw the situation and granted me the powers. And it was like I was holding a sun in my hand instead of a sword. It was just burning everything.
What?
That is a clear sign that I am favored by him. And if I get to Celestina, I will probably become a champion, or he will tell me what I need to do to become one.
Okay. Yes, that answers my question then.
Do you want to know anything else?
I don't know. I'm sure the Den Mothers have like stuff they'd like to say about it.
So, then mothers, do you know anything about champions? Do we have any kind of method or way of uh, tracking down a champion of Loth?
Den Mother Star would speak. I would be able to determine through certain ways if a champion had been selected, and if I was in the presence of one, I might be able to detect them. She'll actually start weaving a magical formula through the air, magical circle through the air, and after a few moments, it kind of uh, dissipates like a stone hitting water, and there's like a pulse of invisible energy. She looks at you. You have the makings of one, but Bahamut would have to, well, you would have to make it official through some ritual that I'm sure you will learn when you turn to your home.
Yeah, I have to go back to the temple. The Grand. Actually, he summoned me to the Grand Temple in Celestina when I was asleep. Uh, he was one of the. When I was asleep, I had a lot of visions. One of them was definitely Bahamut. Uh, in that note, can you then, Mother Star, devise like a spell or a sending stone or anything that keeps me in touch with you and or any of the den mothers so we can communicate in case of you needing anything um, regarding the ship and uh, the whole ritual for dropping the barrier around the island, and if you find any champions so I can take care of them.
Then Mother Gold will raise her hand. Oh, I do. I have a couple sets. I could lend you one. And she'll reach into her pack that she has on her side.
What is
Show
the
you the
range
sending
on these
stone.
things?
Oh, as long as um, we're in the same uh, realm of existence. If
Okay.
you get summoned to your god, I wouldn't be able to, but otherwise we should be able to talk once every day or so, I think.
Okay, thank you. I take one of the sets and give one of the receivers to the Mother Star. Then okay, I gave you 10,000, and we have a way to communicate. Unless there is anything else, Omnia, I am done.
We referring to just the old one's still there, right? Like the ball manifestation thing of him, right?
Yep, yep.
Um, what would your vote be on our next course of action with all of this?
You, ooh, hold on. It's not easy to do the voice. You already know what I would prefer
We go directly to Lo.
for you to find.
Hmm.
what what does he want? I don't know what he wants. I'm asking Omnia.
We we talked about this during at the tavern, but the there was a guy who like he was immortal around the time of that big war between the old ones and the gods.
Yeah, I
He was
remember.
mortal. He was
Thank.
on the side of the old ones,
Yep. And I
and
said, Luz speaks up, and I said that is gonna be our last option because we have already scorched this uh, island once. We have already scorched this continent once. I'm not gonna be the one that does it the second time. That's a scorch earth kind of situation, and I do not want to touch it unless I have no other options.
Very well.
I mean, don't worry about it. I have considered that as an option. There is an option on the table, but the consequences and the prices that we might have to pay, it's a bit much. And my understanding is that if we resurrect that guy, there is a chance that the piece you want is not gonna be pass, and there is gonna be a lot more war and chaos. So that guy is a last resort. I don't want to fight a god just to turn around and see one of my allies stabbing me in the back.
He wouldn't be stabbing you in the back. He just might stab Bahamut. So,
Anyways, it would be like not stabbing me in the back, stabbing one of my allies in the back, stabbing you
mm,
in the back. Bahamut is my god, but I consider him my ally, and I'm not gonna let anything happen to him. Not that he needs me, but if I can see something that can conspire against him, I'm gonna stop it. Trumbo, are you talking?
mhm.
Because if you talked, we didn't hear anything.
Shh.
As you wish. I believe I have no need to be here.
Before you go, can I talk to you and you don't give me pain in my head?
Yes.
Okay, then I might come visit you in the future, old one.
Will it be to renounce your god?
Unless I see he has done something very wrong, no. But I'm not against making new friends.
Lou, I think he kind of is introverted
Eh,
and
I'm not gonna go visit him in his cave. He's in my head. Just gonna talk to him in my head. That's it.
eh.
And if he's introverted, why is he in my fucking head?
because he didn't want to show up for the function.
He he turns towards again mentally. You get the sensation that he turns towards Umnia. Sorry, towards Sioda. Jesus, towards Sioda. And I'm
The
gonna
old one just looks up
borrow.
at the sky and looks at Omnia.
I. No, I'm gonna borrow Sioda for just a second.
Okay. Whispers. They are whispering. We don't have a sponsor for this kind of situation. We definitely have to get a sponsor for these kind of situations. But not gonna happen because nobody is watching these things. Actually, that is my fault, but because I'm not posting it on Reddit. But if you guys be so kind and watch this, please leave a comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. And I'm just talking to air because there's nobody here and they are talking, and I don't want to be dead silence in here. And yeah, I have run out of stuff to say. I hope they come back soon. If there was a chat, that would have been great. I would have just asked what uh kind of wagon do we get for this wagon. If we're gonna travel in style though, for real, we gotta travel in style. Maybe we can upgrade it later. Add like maybe a mounted siege weapon on top and moving like it would basically be a Humvee. It would basically become a Humvee with a uh what is the caliber of the fucking guns that they put on the top? With one of those, one of the big ones, not the small ones, the big ones that are really big. They are almost like tanks. Yeah, we gotta call it Humvee. I'm gonna just paint Humvee on the side of the wagon. Hello.
Whoa. So, you, as you stand there and you finish this conversation, Lou, you see the murky light of this orb almost constrict as it starts to cave inwards, and you see an outline of a great dark shadow slowly spiral itself in tighter circles around Sioda's form, and then it and the
Can I
rest of the
inside
orb
check?
dissipate. I mean, you
Can
wouldn't
I?
be able to. You cannot vibe check because there is no expression or words.
No.
It's just like a
Maybe
shape.
maybe I said it badly. Can I see if that shit that is swirling around Sioda, is it harming him? Is it dangerous or not?
Well, you wouldn't see Sioda as it constricts around her, but after a few moments, it and the rest of the orb dissipates, and the room returns to its normal colors, and Sioda is standing there with a perhaps contemplative look on her face.
What's going on? What just
Mhm.
happened?
Mhm. Said you were annoying.
Your face said something else, but yeah, he's annoying to me too. But we are gonna make great friends.
Awesome.
Anything else I need to know?
Mm,
Anything else?
probably not. I don't think it's that important right now.
Vibe check. This one I can vibe check.
Okay.
Where is my character? Oh wow, there is wow, one, two, three, four folders? Really?
Those are me. That's what I got here for. It was 5 when we started. We moved
Can
out
I
of the
do
creative
guidance
folder.
too?
Oh.
Yeah.
7. I
Sioda seems like she's telling you the truth.
he's in the up and up. All right. Uh, about that wagon. So I gave 10,000. You asked your questions. We told you about the city. Oh right. We need a wagon, like we said. And creatures that pull it. I think
And
you.
you,
I'll cover that.
do the Den Mothers have any input towards the old one?
I mean,
And then Mother Gold.
one of them talked to him, and he was and she was the one that summoned him. So, which one was that?
Oh, Den Mother Rune had tapped Sioda's head, and that caused the whole thing to happen.
Right. So, then Mother Gold was about to say something.
Oh, I can handle that. The wagon and supplies and rations and all that I can handle.
You guys use more banners, right? For pulling it.
Mhm. Just about
One
the
more,
only thing that can be domesticated.
one more thing. Can you just spray Humvee in the side for me?
What?
Humvee.
What?
We're gonna call it Humvee.
Um, what is a Humvee and what is spray paint?
Not spray paint. uh, uh, just paint the word Humvee to the side. We just gonna. I'm gonna call the wagon Humvee. Hello.
Alrighty.
You know why? DM.
Oh,
I'm gonna add siege weapon to it later. So it's gonna be a
I'm sure
Humvee.
you will.
It's gonna be a
You,
Humvee.
you should probably explain that to Den Mother Gold.
I don't know what a Humvee is. A Humvee is a pet name that my
I'm
father
saying you should
used.
probably explain your desire to affix siege weapons to a wagon.
By the way, yeah, please give us one that we can upgrade later. I probably wanna add a siege crossbow to it later.
Oh, uh, well, if you would like to wait a couple days, I could get one fixed up for you because, I mean,
I
I forgot her name
appreciate
again, God damn it. Lady Renata is still here.
I appreciate it, but no offense. I trust in Dorvan engineering more. No offense again. And my god is calling me to the temple, so tight in the times department for now. But a wagon that can be upgraded later would be great.
Oh, alright then, no. There should be at least one or two that are intact.
Um, so about those two guys that you guys wanted me to add to our party, we are they both scouts? Do I just go to the scout tavern or
They'll be at the inn. The tavern, yes.
okay? Then if you be so kind to bring the wagon to the entrance of tavern, that would be great.
Of course.
Thank you. Omnia, do you have any more questions for them?
No, I'm good.
Do you guys need anything from us?
This is a question as a DM. What I gave you some of your rewards. What did I give you? Den Mother White gave you a vial. She said would help you if you needed it. Den Mother Star gave you. Did she give you? I
Uh,
don't think she did.
then Mother Gold told us to she would send money to Celestina. Rune
Mhm.
give us a rune that give me a rune that protected us, and then Mother Star only said a poem in Elvish, nothing else. And you
Right.
said
So Malleus would. Uh, Den Mother Star and my gift will await you at the tavern as well.
um. Good thing that remind me. Then Mother Star, if you don't mind, you
Yeah.
you sang a poem in Elvish. I couldn't get what that means.
Yes.
If you be so kind to give me the meaning of it, if
Ah,
you can.
yes. I. It was an old. I hate to say it, but it was an old prophecy that I thought had come to fruition during the Great War. But some incidents have led me to believe that it might be referring to whatever is happening now, though I can't imagine it is a good thing. It is. I. Let's see. If I can remember the way it If I translate it into common, it sounds. Uh, Ew! Sorry. Bugs just flew in from the window and landed on me.
Make a extra version.
Are you outside? Because it feels like you are outside with the whole
No.
sounds.
No, I have the fan going in the window, and there's these really small bugs that fit in through the mesh of the window screen and
Dude, fuck
fly in.
you. Fuck
Those are
you.
the worst.
I turned off my fan because I don't want any sound to be on it. Fuck you. I'm sweating here because of
Yours was
I
worse,
told,
to be
I
crap.
fair.
told you, I told you that your new headset is fine, and I could actually hear you through the fan. You could have just used the damn thing.
Earlier,
I
it was
know, but
pretty
I'm also recording this, so a
Fine.
constant sound of a fan inside the headset is not gonna be good.
Okay, I turn away from the fan. This should be better. Uh, Anywho,
we all got
Uh,
along.
about you were telling about poem, and by the time and when she's trying to remember what the poem actually means, he asks the mother star about the people that gave us the cards, and I just ask her. I didn't get any kind of evil vibes from them, and their cause seems just. Are they to be trusted or not?
oh, you're referring to the Omnia's friend. I mean, Sioda's friends.
No, no, no. The shadow ones. The ones that gave me the cards.
Ah, yes,
The one that she couldn't say the name of.
yes. They are. There's like like almost like a half smirk, like she's struggling with something. They are enigmatic, often frustratingly so, but they are known to us. We never interacted with, we never benefited from them, so to speak. But I and Mother Star are old enough to remember during the height of your people's empire, they did provide aid to your people in form of gifts, as they are wont to do. Gifts and riddles and very little else. At this point, Mother Star would yes, it was that's right. Poem goes. Shadows hold fear. Traveler shall appear with words and gifts of gold. Guidance of grace shall lead to the place where no god may keep its hold. And at the time, they and the traveler had lent aid to your people's empire and gave a gift to one of your people's most notable figures, who I imagine you will meet at some point in the future. And as a result of the war, most, if not all, all but two of the gods were literally banished from this continent. So, at the time, I thought that that was the fruition of the poem, though it seems that events are repeating themselves in a rather unusual way.
Maybe it's just unfinished business. They're not done until all of them are gone.
Indeed. She was always good at being slippery.
I will see this through, but if I see anything that is fishy, I will do something about it.
They've given no reason for us to distrust them so far.
Have they given any reason to be trusted?
I will
The
not tell you not because I cannot, but out of respect for the one whose job it is to do the telling. They gave a gift. That they give gifts. Come as in the form of deals. They give a gift in exchange for something that the recipient cannot alter from. And the individual who last they gifted, let's say he has difficulty sharing his gift sometimes.
Cross that road when it comes to it.
Indeed.
Thank you for everything. I hope you guys can deal with the cultist without any problem. I will tell Celestina to send reinforcements as soon as possible. Uh, I think 24 people should be enough. 12 clerics, 12 paladins. It should be enough for you guys to build up, have a little bit of extra protection, and it wouldn't make a dent in Celestina that much. I will
They
see
look
what I
quite
can do.
mystified as you say this with all bravado. They're like, "That many?"
Uh, I can. I'm not promising. This is what I want to send you. If I can pull it off, 12 paladins, 12 clerics. If I can't, I will send you at least no less than six clerics, six paladins.
it's a whole city. Is that enough?
I am. I don't have enough. I'm saying this as nameless. I don't think I have enough say to send any more, but I believe this is enough to make a temporary boost to their defenses, and the clerics can help with the wounded. They also get help from the scouts. But if I can send more, I will send more. Considering we are basically allies to them, I will try to send as many as I can without lowering defenses of Celestina. I'm just giving them a number so they know at least they are gonna get 12 people added to their defenses.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like I said, I will try to send more, but I will try to at least send 12 or 24 if I can. Maybe pull a little bit of personal favors. But considering we are basically allies right now, if the city lord, my father, doesn't hinder anything, I will try to talk to the archbishop to send you more. Send you as many as we can without losing the defense of the city. Then
And anything else you need to do besides this?
I'm done. If Omnia wants to do something,
Um, I guess my question was the did the stalactites on the ceiling were those only on like the direct path towards Siota's home, or was that like throughout the cave? And like if she told them to not go past any stalactites with the eyes like that, would that make it impossible for them to get there? Would they have to pass through one?
You'd imagine it would be extremely difficult.
Okay. Do I have a good enough memory of those tunnels to be able to construct a map?
You have the Outlander thing, right?
Yeah.
Then
Water.
yeah, it's Wanderer.
Do I
So
have? Let me see if I have my own.
what kind?
you
What about the entrance to the cultist city? Do we have enough information to give them uh, accurate situation,
You would
accurate
need to ask
location.
Meshuda to give you an accurate description because Meshuda does not have access to the Wanderer perk.
So
Hmm.
if I ask Mishuda, what's gonna happen? Do
I
I
could at the very least lead them to that laboratory that we found all those skinned people at.
do we have to ask Mishuda, or do I?
Yashuda's the only one who saw the city, but
No, no.
we can assume that the lab leads to the city, but that's an assumption.
I'm asking the DM if
Oh.
we have to wait for next session, or can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we have to wait for next session. I believe my companion has the exact location. Uh, I send someone with the wagon that you trust. Keeps you will trust will keep this quiet. Maybe Tengen or Zahak, and I will give them an exact location to the entrance to the cultist city because Meshuda is in the tavern.
Hmm. Does anyone have like a pen and parchment? Because
uh, Den Mother Rune would procure pen and
yeah,
parchment, which floats in the air towards you.
on that, she'd probably Siota would make a very like rough map of like where it led to the laboratory as well as just basically that main tunnel and like at least get to the part where it would branch off and start leading to her towards her home and like have that part be extremely vague on the map. Um, but the only clear path that is included on the map is one leading from Qigong to that laboratory,
Mm-hmm.
and on a small note on the main path that would lead towards her home would be um I don't know, here be dragons. Shoot, um,
Danger ahead. Workers
no,
workers are working on construction.
um, just a small note saying tread no further.
You can
I
just
don't know.
you can just ask them to don't
I
go
know, but
there.
I want it on paper so they can't be like, oh, I forgot.
So
Good
just
idea.
tell them this is my house, so don't go
That's what
there.
I'm
Alright.
going to do once I hand them the note. Siota will finish making that drawing and present them that map and say, I know Mashuda will be able to get you a little bit more specific, but this was the map towards the I guess it was a laboratory where I had initially they had brought Mashuda to. I assume it would lead to the city, but Mashuda will be able to get you better directions. Um, down this pathway, it would lead to my hometown. There's nothing of use for you there, and the people there, the I guess individuals there would be less keen on anybody stumbling to them on accident or on purpose. And if possible, I would just recommend to not disturb them if possible. Damn.
Oops. Den Mother Rune would nod and start rolling up the little map you made. And with that, I think we can end this uh, shorter, shorter session.
Shorter session is about 2 hours.
Yep, I mean, it's half the normal time, so thank you so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.